What's going on, Z community? It's me, Azizz, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to place covered calls with Questrade. In case you guys don't know what covered calls are, it's basically a strategy that's used with options. In this situation with a covered call, you already own the stocks and somebody has the right to call them from you at any given moment of time. For example, if I bought shares of a stock at $10 and I sold a covered call to somebody for $15, if this stock ever hits $15, they can be like, you know what? We're gonna have to ask you to give her your shares for $15. Even if it's at 50, even if it's at $100, I have to sell them the shares at $15. Now, if you didn't know this or you're first getting introduced to the world of options, please educate yourself and do not jump into conclusions unless you know what you're doing. Options are very risky and they're actually a little bit riskier than stocks, so you want to make sure that you know about them first before going through with this strategy. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright guys, so there are two ways that you can actually do this. The first way is what I call the manual way, and the second way is where I call it the automatic way. We're gonna look into the manual step at first, but for either option, you're gonna have to log into Questrade and business as usual, go to your trading tab. You can access this by actually going over here and just pressing the trading tab. Now, once you get this screen over here, we're actually gonna branch off to the manual way and then I'll show you the automatic. Now, if you don't already own the stock, you're going to first click the stocks tab on the left hand side of the dashboard, right over here. Once you click that, you're then going to type up the stock that you want to check out. In this situation, I wanted to do SPY, which is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500, which is usually an indicator of the American stock market. Now, once you click it, and you're going to end up seeing all of these information and all of these statistics. Now, assuming you've already done your research and you're pretty confident that you want to do it with this strategy, you are going to buy this stock in increments of 100. So you're gonna press the buy and sell green button, and the quantity always has to be in either 100, 200, 300, etc. This is because one options contract is equal to 100 shares of stock. So whatever, you're just gonna say the limit price. You can either place it at the ask or the bid. If you place it at the ask, your order is going to go through right away. And if you put it at the bid, it might take a couple of minutes for the actual stock to fill. In this case, let's just say I put it at the ask, which is 361.88. End up pressing buy, and then you're going to see the statistics and how much you're going to be spending and changes to your account. Now, I'm not actually going to buy this stock, so if you were actually thinking of it, then you would just press the send order or the do not send if something seems off. Now, once you've done this and you've actually bought shares of the stock that you want to get, the next thing you're going to do is click the options tab, which is at the left toolbar right under stocks. So we're going to press options, and again, you're going to type in that same stock that you just bought. So in this case, SPY. And then it'll bring you the entire options price chart. Now, what you're going to do here is that you're going to first click the day that you want the option to expire near. And in this case, I'm just going to say the 15th of January, 2021. And let's just see. You're going to see a bunch of different strike prices and a bunch of different ask and bids. Now, I'm doing this in the pre-market session, so it's not showing me any bid or asks right now, but this will usually be fluctuating all over the place if you were to do this during market open hours. Now, because we are doing a covered call, you want to ignore anything that is shaded in the beginning over here. You want to focus on what is highlighted in white, or I would say not highlighted at all. These are the strike prices that you want to pay attention to. Now, you have a bunch of strike prices over here, which should be higher than the current price of the stock. This is what you need to do for a covered call. Now, because it says that the stock price in the bid and ask is less than $362, in this case, you would just press 362. You'd see a bunch of statistics over here, and then you would the green buy or sell button. Once you click that, you're going to make sure that these are your options that are set on the window. Call, you're going to have your quantity being 1, because as we said, one options contract is equal to 100 shares of stock. And then you're gonna have your expiration, the strike price that you picked, and then it's obviously a call because we're doing a covered call. Now for the limit price, what you're going to be putting here is either the ask or the bid price. As I said, if you want it to get filled right away, in this case, you're gonna be putting the price as the bid price. And if you want to wait a couple of minutes, then you would have to put it at the ask price. This is because, as you will see, we're actually going to be selling it, not buying it. Once you put in the price, which I just put 1204, you are going to press sell. It's going to tell you that you're creating a short order, which is completely fine. I got super scared when I first saw this because I was like, wait, am I doing this wrong? But no, it's supposed to tell you this message. Just press say, don't show the message again. Press yes, and then it'll give you the statistics. Because I'm doing this during the pre-market hours and we just finished out of a weekend, it's not really showing me any statistics, but make sure you review them, and if everything looks good, press send order, and if it doesn't, press do not send. You'll see that the options contract eventually gets filled, and then that's how you know that you've just written your first covered call. What's going on, Z community? I just wanted to drop in real quick and say that today is the last day that you can enter our $50 Amazon gift card giveaway. Rules are really simple and you can enter more than once. So be sure that you're going to our Instagram account and submitting your entry so that you have a chance to get to shopping. Anyway, Z community, enjoy the rest of the video. That's pretty much it for the manual technique, but let's go into the actual automatic technique. Now to do this, I'm just gonna reset everything and go back to my tradings tab so I could show you exactly how to do this. So for the automatic technique, instead of going to the stocks tab, which is at the left toolbar, you're just gonna go straight into the options. And this is assuming that you don't already own the stock and you just wanna sell a covered call for it. Again, you would pick the expiration date, which I will say the 15th of January. And then I will actually look at the strike price that I want. Let's just say the 362 that we did before. Now in this situation, you're just gonna go ahead and press the green buy or sell button. And over here, you'll see that under the call options or the call drop option menu, you're gonna see a bunch of different things. Now for the automatic process, you have to go under multi-leg options and press the covered call. Once you press this, you're gonna see a different screen pop up for you. You'll see leg 1 and leg 2. Leg 1 shows you that you're first going to be buying 100 shares of SPY or whatever stock that you picked. And it'll tell you the details of it once you click that arrow right over here, which it'll say buy or sell. You could even modify the quantity itself. For example, if you wanted to write more than one options contract, you would just write 200 if you wanted to write 2 contracts, and then 300, 500, whatever, so on and so forth. For this case, we're just gonna be writing 1 contract, which is at 100 shares. Then you're gonna look under leg 2. This is the actual writing of the covered call itself. Now, because it's a covered call, they don't give you the option to buy, it's just selling. And because you put in 100 shares before, it automatically sets the quantity to 1. And expiration, as you can see, they actually didn't do the right date. So this is why you always have to check before placing your orders. And we're just gonna change it to the 15th of January. And strike price, yep, still the same. And after that, in the customize section, it will show you the actual totals. Now it's not showing me the totals because once again, I'm doing this on the pre-market session of Monday and right after the weekend. So usually what it'll do, it'll add up the things for you. Now over here, I'm just gonna use the last column. So if you're buying the shares at 361.99 and the premium or what you're selling the contract for is 1206, they're going to calculate it as a subtraction. So 362.05 minus 1206. It's gonna say that you actually bought the stock for 349.99 because of the premium it added onto that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go through what premiums and strike prices, expiration, look up all of that stuff before you end up actually doing this. Now we scroll down a little bit more and you see the limit price is actually a little different over here. You see this little lock with a yellow circle around it. This, you can either follow the price or not follow. If you press not follow, you're gonna have to enter some manual price, or if you press follow price, it'll go based on whatever the market is looking like. In this case, you would just write 1. You press send order after everything's looking good, and it gives you an overview of what you're doing. So again, it's telling us that we're buying 100 shares of SPY, telling us to sell a covered call at the strike price of 362 and expiration of January the 15th. It tells us the commissions that we're going to be paying, how much we're actually buying of each thing, and then it tells us the change in buying power and all of that other good stuff. If everything looks good to you, you're going to press send order, and if it doesn't, or you just haven't educated yourself on options yet, you're going to press do not send. So with these two different ways that you can place covered calls, there are some notable mentions that you need to know before actually doing this at all. With covered calls, the price that you sold the options contract for, this is called the premium. You will only get this premium once the contract expires worthless or gets exercised. On top of that as well, you're gonna have to wait for about 1 to 2 business days for Questrade to actually put the premium into your account. And another notable mention is that once you've actually placed this order and you look under your positions, there is a chance that you might see that your account is telling you that you are negative because of your actual options contract value. As the contract that you sold goes up in value, it's going to tell you that you lost money, but really it's just telling you how much you missed out on. And now as time comes closer to the expiration date or your stock price just increases in value, you're going to notice that your options position is going to tell you that you're negative. Completely ignore this. You are going to be making your premium, and on top of that, the profits that you are getting from what you have the strike price at and what you bought the stock at. These are some notable mentions. If you guys still have questions, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'd love to clear things up for you. Otherwise, ZCommunity question of the day is, have you used Questrade to place covered calls before? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, ZCommunity, did you find value in this video? If you did, make sure you're liking, subscribing, and pressing that notifications bell. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. This is me, Azizz, signing out. Peace.